Honoring the heroes of 9/11, a 5K event pays tribute to the lives lost. Plus, tracks in the family for JMU athlete and an Olympic gold medalist. And Back Home on the Farm opens its doors for their fall festival.
Live from the Allison B. Parker Studio in the School of Media Arts and Design at James Madison University, this is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. I'm Abby Allard. JMU is on the hunt for a new president. The Board of Visitors met today to discuss the future of JMU. Today's meeting covered a range of topics, including FAFSA, increasing media coverage, particularly with football, enhancing job placement for graduates, and even considering standardized tests for admissions. However, one issue stood out: the search for a permanent president within the next 12 months. JMU will be working with the Presidential Search Forum to identify the best candidate for this position. Students also shared their opinions on the qualities they desire in the leader.
Many students also mentioned that they would like someone with a background in higher education and someone that has experience in volunteering and community engagement. Someone that still has lots of room to grow, but is not using JMU as a stepping stone.
Interim President Charlie King stated that the search for the next president will remain a top priority, and the board will continue working collaboratively to ensure the best outcome for JMU. Each year, the Young Americans for Freedom puts their flags on the quad to commemorate 9/11. Due to JMU's policy changes, YAF was unable to fulfill its tradition. Breeze TV's Madeline Bynack is out on the quad now with Chairman of YAF. Maddie?
Thank you, Abby. So Tristan, what was your reaction to YAF being unable to put flags on the quad this year?
So being unable to put flags on the quad this year, it threw us for a bit at the very beginning when we initially received that email notification from Dr. Miller that the quad was unable to be used for flag displays. We initially were acceptable. We accepted the initial request to move it to festival. However, after we created the festival reservation, we looked back and we tried to dig a little bit further on what specific policy we was referencing and where to actually find that.
So I know that you were able to put your flags on East this year. Was that satisfying for you and YAF?
So being able to put our flags on East, it was satisfying. Well, it was satisfying because we wanted to get the representation out for the victims who were lost during that tragic day, and we were excited to be able to still do that, even with the policy change. Even if it was not on the quad, getting that representation out on campus was our main goal at the time.
Is there any way that you wish James Madison would handle policy changes for public demonstrations in the future?
So when it regards to policy changes in the future, we would more or less request more transparency from the Board of Visitors. And also, it did seem like this policy change was a little bit last minute. However, when it comes to actual timeline, I'm not 100%. We don't have all the information on when each change occurred. I know that when I was in the meeting with Dr. Miller this past week, he said that one of the changes to that policy occurred on the 9th, which was right before the deadline for that policy change. So when it comes to future policies for James Madison University, not only are we asking for a little bit more clarification, but more or less promote student free speech on campus. And if student free speech has to be impacted, student organizations should be the first ones to know what's going on, how is this changing, and we can engage in civil discourse about that.
So how does YAF specifically combat being a political organization on a public campus?
So YAF is not, well, by definition, we're not really a political organization. By definition, we're actually an activist organization because we have 501c3 status. So we cannot politically endorse any candidate or any party. However, being on a public campus, there has been its challenges where we need to bring the conservative voice to students and be able to represent conservative students on campus without trying to. Our main concern is we're trying to make sure that every voice on campus is heard from both the conservative point of view as well as everybody else's. So getting that representation on campus has been challenging at times. However, as more and more speakers that we bring on the campus happen, the easier it gets at times. But with these policy changes as well, it tends to throw us for a loop. We tend to have to readjust our stance and make sure that, hey, we're able to still get our voice on campus. We're able to still to promote the conservative viewpoint on campus while engaging in this civil discourse with other organizations and other people with other viewpoints.
That's all I have for you. Thank you, Tristan, for speaking with me. Back to you, Abby, at the desk.
Thanks, Maddie. It's been 23 years since the 9/11 attacks. In honor of the lives lost, JMU held its annual 5K run. Our reporter Andrew Perkson recapped the run to show the impact this day has on the JMU community.
A day once filled with tragedy and loss has now become one of celebration and honor.
I think it's something that many of us can probably say that we knew somebody who was connected in some way to the Twin Towers, who lived in New York, who was right there, who was impacted in some way, and we had to provide support for them.
JMU's annual 9/11 5K featured a record-breaking 300 racers this year, as this is the third year of the 5K's existence. Vice President of Student Affairs, Tim Miller, says the impact of the event grows each year.
As someone who personally lost 2 friends in 9/11 from JMU, this is about a race, but it's also about them and all 4 people from JMU that died. So to be able to do this and to have a moment with my friends, there's a deeper meaning to this than just a race. So I'm just proud that we can do this.
Though it is a day of remembrance, Bruce E. Mitchell II pushes for students to support events like this to give them more perspectives on the day itself and the people who are involved.
In a time where there may be a lot of chaos in our nation, a chaos in our world, being in space together like this where we can come together as a community to cheer each other on, to support each other, and also reflect and look back a little bit and remember what the heroes did, the first responders did, and the lives that were lost during 9/11.
Students who plan to join the military post-graduation also attended the event. These students continue to honor those lost on this day in history.
Honestly, just being present and being the best leader I can and just encouraging all of my fellow soldiers just to come out to events like this to keep remembrance.
Once we put it in front of them and we let them know this is an opportunity to come together every year for this particular cause, and it supports JMU Valor, our resource center for veterans and military-connected students or dependents, that's a great benefit there.
Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Andrew Perkson.
When we come back from the break, JMU football is using the bye week to let key players recover. And JMU volleyball is hosting the Airy Invitational. We'll review their opening game last night. Plus, JMU's water polo team prepares for their tournament.
The best car for the best price with the best payment plan. It's all waiting for you at Consumers Auto Warehouse in Stanton. Why not swing on by and let us show you how affordable a top quality used car is. Consumers Auto Warehouse, Richmond Avenue, Stanton.
A short drive from JMU, the Fashion Gallery is your one-stop shop for any occasion. Shop formal to casual styles in sizes 2 to 22. So be sure to visit us for some retail therapy at the Fashion Gallery.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
It's bow time. Some classics never go out of style, like fresh egg, American cheese, and hickory smoked bacon on a made-from-scratch biscuit. Get a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit with crispy bow rounds and a hot coffee or medium drink. Order in the app or at Bojangles. It's bow time. It's bow time. Combine the bold taste of Bojangles Chicken Supreme with dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go, and you get Bo's Bird Dog. Grab 2 for $5. Available for a limited time only. It's bow time.
This is Breeze TV.
Breeze TV Sports Desk. I'm Tommy Gerganis. Well, track and field runs in the Wilson family. Cadence Wilson runs track for JMU, and her younger brother Quincy Wilson won gold in Paris over the summer. Cadence earned Sunbelt All-Conference honors in the 4x400 meter relay last year, and Quincy made history becoming the youngest male Olympic track and field gold medalist at 16 years old. After suffering a quad injury in April, Cadence is now working her way back. She and coach Delicia Quarles watched Quincy win gold. Quarles says the brother and sister duo could push each other to greater heights.
What I think does for Cadence, I think she's going to be bigger and better than ever because you don't go to the Olympic Games without it changing you. And she is so close to her brother. And this entire experience, I think there's times that her emotions were so high and it was like she was racing. And even my connection to their family is just, you're there and you're really nervous. And all you want is the best to happen for this young man. And I think it's life-changing what has occurred.
Even though Quincy is 4 years younger than me, he really does inspire me to do my best. Even when I was injured, he always told me, like, Cadence, it's okay. Like, you still have another year left. Like, you're going to come back stronger than you were before. So I love that even though we are 4 years apart, we still inspire each other despite our age difference.
We'll have more from Cadence Wilson's story on the Breeze Sports Instagram. Well, after starting the year at 2-0, JMU football is on its bye week. With no games, the Dukes can address issues before playing North Carolina on the road next week. The Dukes struggled offensively on Saturday, scoring only 13 points on FCS opponent Gardner-Webb. Two Dukes that were expected to make an impact on offense this year were wide receiver Taji Hudson and running back Ayo Aday. Hudson has not played this year, and Aday left the Gardner-Webb game due to an apparent injury. I talked with Breeze Sports editor Preston Comer on what each player's outlook is.
Taji has been practicing this week, according to Coach Chesney, and apparently he's been looking pretty good. He could hopefully be ready to go for Chapel Hill. JMU has been missing that really number one guy in the wide receiver room. There really hasn't been anyone who has stepped up and taken that role while Hudson's been absent. And Aday, there's really no update on him right now. I think they're just looking at him day by day. But George Pettaway has sort of run himself into that running back one position or in that starting spot. So it's good, definitely good to have that depth at running back with him as well as Tyler Purdy while Aday is coming back.
Former JMU running back Percy Ajay Obase signed with the Ottawa Redblacks of the Canadian Football League. Ajay Obase played with the Dukes from 2017 to 2022. Several of his offensive rushing stats rank among the top 5 in program history. Ajay Obase's 2019 campaign produced his single-season best in rushing attempts, yards, and touchdowns. He was also a first-team All-CAA running back that year. In the COVID-shortened 2020 season, he averaged over 100 rushing yards over 7 games and scored 8 touchdowns. The Red Blacks have a 8-3-1 record, ranked second in the East Division of the CFL behind the Montreal Alouettes. They can clinch a playoff berth this Saturday. JMU Volleyball is hosting its second invite of the year. The Dukes began Erie Invitational play last night against the University of California, San Diego. The Dukes won the first and second sets 25-18. In the third set, UC San Diego got off to a 6-1 lead. JMU clawed back and tied the game at 16, but the Trojans closed strong to win 25-22. The Dukes fumbled in the fourth, losing 25-17, forcing a decisive fifth set. After going down 3-1, JMU closed strong, winning the set 15-9 and securing the win. Olivia Vance discussed what changed with the game on the line.
We were really focused in that fifth set on, okay, what happened in the past is in the past, and now, it's just about winning. It's just about earning all our points and doing what we can, playing how we know we can.
Now in an even 3-3 record following their win Thursday, The Dukes get today off before continuing to host Erie Invitational play Saturday. They'll take on High Point at the Convocation Center at 6 p.m. They'll close out the tournament on Sunday at Western Michigan. The game will be at 10 a.m. Club water polo season is in full swing. Executive producer Jack Hadley dove into how the club is preparing for their competition in Blacksburg.
Club Water Polo is getting in gear for their first tournament of the semester. They're traveling to Virginia Tech this weekend, where they will face off against University of Virginia, University of Maryland, University of North Carolina, and Navy. This will be one of 3 tournaments in the fall semester, and one of 2 in Blacksburg. Club president Brevin Bigowiesen speaks on how the team recruits new players at the beginning of the year.
Because it's a niche sport, we try to really target people that are into swimming. With the Olympics that just passed, we've gotten a lot of new people that have just thought it was like a cool sport watching.
Recruiting has become easy for Club Water Polo. They've built up a reputation among young players of the sport.
Well, I've been playing water polo for an extremely long time. I mean, I chose JMU because one of the reasons is because they have a club team, so I thought it'd be a good fit.
To prepare for the tournament, the Dukes have been focusing on conditioning and teamwork.
We've been going really hard in practice, working on drills, working on communication, getting all the new guys familiar with the sport. I feel really good going into this tournament. Everyone else is developing really quickly.
In water polo, you're moving a lot and you will get tired fast, so we don't want that to happen.
The team is hoping for a 4-0 record this weekend. This is Jack Hadley for Breeze TV.
Men's and women's soccer are in action this weekend, both home and away. Men's soccer will take on Liberty University Saturday night at Centera Park. They're coming off of a 1-0 win over nationally ranked Georgetown. They're hoping to use that momentum to improve their 1-0-3 record. Women's soccer is away at East Carolina on Sunday. They're looking to snap their 2-game losing streak with losses to UVA and West Virginia. It will be their last non-conference opponent before Sunbelt Conference play, which begins on September 21st. That's all from the sports desk. Back to you, Abby.
Thanks, Tommy. A communication studies professor weighs in on the debate and explains why young voters should make their voices heard. And if you're a fan of Sheets, you'll have to wait a little longer for your next visit to the One Year East campus. Plus, stay tuned for Andrew Perkson's weekend weather update.
The best car for the best price with the best payment plan. It's all waiting for you at Consumers Auto Warehouse in Stanton. Why not swing on by and let us show you how affordable a top quality used car is. Consumers Auto Warehouse, Richmond Avenue, Stanton.
It's bow time. It takes 49 steps to bake a fluffy made-from-scratch Bojangles biscuit. But to make it a country ham biscuit, it takes 50. Get a fresh buttermilk biscuit today with a slice of juicy country-style ham. It's bow time. It's bow time. Hurry into Bojangles for 2 scratch-made sizzling sausage biscuits for just $4, because this 2-for-4 deal won't last forever. It's bow time. It's bow time. Get fired up tonight, because Bojangles has your dinner covered. Southbound, scratch made. Not one of these, but one of these. That's more home cooking for your money. Order your family meal on the app tonight. It's bow time. It's bow time. Introducing new Bojangles chicken wings. Try the boldly seasoned classic, sweet and smoky barbecue, or creamy buffalo for some heat. Head to Bojangles and order all 3 flavors for your next party. It's bow time.
This is Breeze TV.
Early voting begins next Friday. How did the presidential debate affect the civic engagement at JMU? Breeze TV's Lauren Keller is in studio to tell us more. Lauren?
Thanks, Abby. I'm here with Interim Executive Director of Madison Center for Civic Engagement, Kara Dillard. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's great to be here with you, Lauren.
So Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump first met and debated on Tuesday. How does watching a debate encourage or disencourage eligible, undecided voters to want to be more civically engaged?
Debates are one of the most important ways in our democracy for students, for people, decided or undecided, to really be able to weigh what the candidates are, what they say, what they think is important, the values that they stand for, the policies that they stand for. For JMU students, this is the first time they will have experienced a presidential election, and for them, this is the first time that they will really have been able to evaluate Vice President Harris and President Trump together on the same stage. So this was a really unique opportunity for our students to be able to sit down, watch these candidates clash, to talk, to engage each other in a really meaningful way.
And many students are voting in their first presidential election. What advice do you give to them to prepare to vote?
That's a great question. Watching debates is certainly one of them. The two vice presidential candidates will debate in October, on October 1st, and so join a watch party and watch it with your peers. That's always wonderful to hear, not just what your friends might think, but to hear from students who might have a different opinion than you do on the different candidates. And so definitely join a watch party, but I always try to encourage students to read The Breeze, and The Breeze will publish a voter guide that will give an overview of who these candidates are, what they stand for, their different policy perspectives, and that's a really wonderful and easy way for students to become knowledgeable about who these candidates are and what they stand for. But I also think it's just important for students to talk with each other and to encourage each other to go out and get registered, to vote, and to know how their other friends and their peers are thinking about these issues.
So do you think it's important for college students to be involved in politics and to vote in this election? Why or why not?
I think it's important for college students to vote. As our students are going out and becoming adults, this is one of the most important ways that they can express their civic virtues, their civic values, and really to engage in their communities in the shape and the scope of what does their community look like. Students, I think, oftentimes feel like their voices and their votes don't matter. But we've seen an election over elections where handfuls of elections are decided on a slim number of votes, and including in places like Georgia where they really were decided by the 18 to 24-year-old age demographic, where those students in key swing counties in Georgia really were the ones who decided who got Georgia's electoral ballots. And so in this case, voting really matters, and voting for college students especially really matters.
Well, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thanks.
Abby, back to you at the desk.
Looking for something fun to do this weekend? Back Home on the Farm opened its barn doors to kick off their fall festival. Our reporter Lauren Keller visited the farm to see how this event is giving new experiences for all ages.
As the weather begins to cool down, Back Home on the Farm opened their annual Fall Festival on Saturday, September 7th. With more than 40 activities and attractions, the fun on the farm is just getting started.
The Fall Festival is on its 18th year. From mini golf, a corn maze, tractor rides, and homemade food, the festival continues to expand the farm with more attractions each year. One attraction that has been at the festival for 4 years is a local traveling petting zoo.
It's like working with little kids because so many of the college kids are the same way as little children. They never get the opportunity to touch or hold an animal. It's just priceless to see the expressions on kids' faces.
The Fall Festival started as a way to diversify the farm and educate the community about local food sources.
We started this when we were down at the state fair one year showing cattle and realized how little people knew about where their food came from.
The festival created attractions for kids to build their imagination and for college students to want to come back after their day at the farm.
I just really like miniature things, and I really like berries. They make the houses really detailed. I think it's super cool.
Roommate was bringing her son, so I was worried it would be for younger ages, but we found so much stuff to do. I would definitely recommend it. I'll definitely be coming back. I had a lot of fun.
The festival will continue until the first weekend of November. The 18th Fall Festival will end with a pumpkin smashing event.
Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Lauren Keller.
Get pumped because a new gym in Harrisonburg may be your solution to finding a fitness space that fits your schedule. Breeze TV's Piper Hepler has the story.
Pump 24 is a new gym in Harrisonburg. It's designed to make working out fun and accessible for everyone. Many JMU students feel that UREC and other gym options are too crowded. Pump 24 offers a new and modern space focused on community and matching the needs of their members.
No one else has the vibe that they have here at Pump, like the LEDs and everything, and all the equipment's really up to date. They have great equipment.
General Manager Ashley Hedgewald says the equipment in the gym is unique and different to what someone would find in a regular gym and enhances Pump 24's appeal to the community.
Rogers equipment and Texas Strength, which is a lot more like powerlifting and like sports performance, but it's like in the fitness world, it's like top of the line equipment that's not in your typical like Planet, Golds, or even UREC.
Pump 24 is open 24/7. Members who are 17 and up can scan into the gym during unstaffed hours via an app on their phone.
You have full access to come whenever you want. When you're stressed, even when you have nothing to do, anything, you can come whenever.
People are complaining about it being packed or not getting equipment to work out on, and we don't have that problem here because 24/7s.
Other than the exclusive equipment and hours that Pump 24 offers, students say the space provides an atmosphere to help them reach their goals.
I just really like the environment. All the people that are here really motivate me, and it's also a lot less crowded than UREC, so it's easier to get a workout in.
If you're interested in becoming a member at Pump 24, you can sign up online or visit the gym during staffed hours for a tour. Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Piper Hepler.
Are you a fan of Sheetz? If so, you will have to wait a while for your next stop at the one near East Campus. The gas station and convenience store is temporarily closed. The Sheetz at the corner of Reservoir and University Boulevard is currently undergoing a full remodel. A customer service representative says many Sheetz in the United States are undergoing this improvement. The store is expected to reopen in March of 2025. And it feels as though we are never getting past the summer weather. Our reporter Andrew Perkson has the weekend weather. Perky.
Thanks, Abby. Well, we thought we were finally getting closer to that fall weather. I wish I could say the same, but unfortunately we're gonna have to wait just a little bit longer, as tonight we could experience cloudy skies with areas such as Winchester and Winter each experiencing highs of 78 degrees each. Even Harrisonburg will be around 78, 79 degrees as well. Other areas such as Monterey and Rapine could experience lows of highs of 73 and 74 respectively. Cooler weather tomorrow, I wish I could say that, but unfortunately it's going to be mid to high 80s for most of the area. Harrisonburg should experience a high of 82, while Petersburg should experience a high of 83, and even Luray is going to have a high of 85. Yes, 85 in September, that almost sounds like 22 in July. Does not make any sense. Anyway, moving over into Sunday, we could experience a slightly cooler temperatures as areas such as Harrisonburg and Franklin should experience highs of 79 degrees, while Franklin should experience a small chance of precipitation. And make sure you get your rain jackets ready because other areas such as throughout the week should experience high chances of rain. So hopefully that means cooler weather and less farmer stands. Just to keep wearing that sunscreen, I learned that the hard way. So
I'm actually for once excited about the rain because at least we can maybe get some coolness, some cooler temperatures maybe.
Yeah, it's like that plus like the Sheetz closing. We can't win. It's like just what can I say?
JMU just can't win. Anyways, we will see you all next week, same time, same place.